future?
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So I'll start with some general information about Tarsons. So Tarsons is among the top three plasticware laboratory equipment manufacturing companies in India. The company has a diversified product portfolio with over 1,700 SKUs across 300 products used in various laboratories across research organizations, academia institutes, pharmaceutical companies, contract research organizations, diagnostic companies, and hospitals. Some of their end consumers include Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, Dr. Lal Path Labs, and the Indian Institute of Chemical Technology. So Tarsans also has a large network of distributors of over 141, and nearly 75 to 80% of their total distributors have been with them for nearly 20 years, which shows a strong supplier and distributor relationship and a stable distribution network. And apart from these 141 distributors in India, they also have 45 distributors across the globe for their export business, and one third of their sales comes from exports, and two-thirds are domestic sales. Tarson sells products to more than 40 countries, and over the next 5 to 10 years, it plans to export to nearly 120 countries. So, going on to their products, they manufacture three main categories, mainly consumables, reusables, and others. Consumables contributes to 63% of their sales, and these include pipette tips, centrifuge tubes, petri dishes, cryo vials, and many more. And the reusables contribute to 37% of their sales, and these include bottles, carboys, beakers, cylinders, and benchtop instruments. So I noted down some of their moats and risks. So their moats are that first of all, Tarson has a big competitive advantage in that it has 1,700 SKUs where everything is there in one place. Not all companies have such in-house capabilities to do this because it includes heavy capex, and not all companies in this industry, especially domestic companies, have the balance sheet strength to do this. So Tarson's in-house manufacturing has been difficult to replicate successfully, and by far it has the largest in-house manufacturing footprint of plastic labware products, and it relies only on in-house manufacturing. But some other MNCs, like including some of its peers, like Thermo Fisher and Eppendorf, rely on imports from their global facilities, given the niche size of this industry. So this industry is a 12 billion rupees industry in India, and some of its other domestic peers, like Genaxi Scientific, outsource their production on a job work basis to third parties. One other note is that Tarson provides lifetime warranty for all its equipment, which is not given in the market by most of its other competitors. Some risks that Tarson faces is that 75% of its raw materials are imported, so it is subject to price and forex volatility, especially when 31% of its cost is the raw material cost. And all its plants, it has nearly five manufacturing plants, are in one Indian state, that is in West Bengal, even though most of its revenue comes from South India. Two new facilities that are coming up for production in Panchla and Amta. Again, they chose West Bengal. So this exposes the company to any state-specific risks which can adversely affect their production and operation. And then they depend solely on distributors. So Tarson's top 10 distributors accounted for 56% of their domestic sales. Similarly, in the export markets, the top distributor accounted for a significant share of their export sales. So the loss of any distributor can have a large impact on their business. So these are some of the risks. Then going on to their peers, Competitors for Tarson are very few. So some of them include Thermo Fisher, Eppendorf, Corning, Genaxi, Acumax, Abdos, and Polymed. In India, mainly the competition is not from China. It is more from Europe, US, as well as some Indian players inside India. But internationally, they have a strong competition from China, especially after the China plus one strategy came into existence. Then going on into their industry, the
Bhavna,
in
one sec. Just could you hide this floating bar that is there? Google Meet. Google is sharing your screen. Yeah. And could you go to the previous slide once? Okay. So P2P comparison. Okay, got it. Yeah. So I was not able to see this thing. So
oh,
basically, what I see is, except for Corning and Eppendorf, everybody have their plants in India.
yeah, like Thermo Fisher, they have an Indian wing where they
Hmm.
manufacture here in India.
Okay, got it. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So the Indian labor market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 7.8% in financial year 2025, and the plastic waste subsegment is expected to grow faster at 16% from financial year 2020 to 2025, because one main reason is the huge adoption of plasticware products over glassware products. This shift is happening especially because plastics have a longer shelf life, they are unbreakable and inexpensive compared to glass. The Indian plastic labor market is valued at 1,225 crores, and Tarson's market share is around 12%. And also, various government initiatives like the Make in India is aiding Tarsan to bring in affordable consumables and reusables by making them in India at 15 to 20% lower prices than the imported products. Then going into some financial details. Hmm. So, looking at this table, one of the main reasons for revenue growth in Tarsan is new product introduction and strong growth in the export markets. The EBITDA and PAT growth have outpaced the revenue growth due to improving product mix, including rising share of sterilized products, operating efficiencies, and improving pricing. Despite the capital intensive nature of the business, high operating margins have helped Tarsan to consistently have a good ROCE. And among the top five leading players, Tarzan has nearly 44% of cumulative profits, and this is mainly due to its better operating margin. And this share in profits is despite the entire operating profits that Thermo Fisher Scientific India has, even though it is present in even in non-plastic lab businesses like biotech, chemicals, and other diagnostic equipments. Then going on to the balance sheet, Tarson's has a good, a healthy balance sheet, and it has a debt equity ratio of 0.1. And ever since Tarson started its IPO in quarter three of financial year 2022, it became net debt free company. And the working capital is, however, high. It is at around 140, and it has high inventory days. So this is because the company has nearly 1,700 SKUs, and it is not contract based revenue. So the company has to maintain high inventory so that it fulfills its orders promptly. So, but even then, recently the management has been working to reduce the working capital cycle, which is already showing an improvement from 179 days in financial year 2019 to 138 days in 2022. Yeah, that's it. Sent.
Oh, very nice. It's a very good presentation. Some of the questions that I have is, number one, you mentioned about the market share. I was curious whether Tarson is gaining market share. Did you get any such hint in value picker thread, or while you were going through the con call or something? So
Yeah, yes, please.
yeah, so please keep an eye out for that if you find,
Yeah,
if
sure.
there. Yeah.
They
Uh,
keep saying that the demand for plastics is increasing, so even
mm,
their market share will increase.
mm. Okay, the second thing that I want to know is the capacity utilization of their plants. So basically, are they working 100% capacity, or is the capacity utilization low? It would also be interesting to see the financial ratios like asset turn, inventory turn, and the ROE breakup of Tarsan. So
Yeah.
using
Yes.
point.
Yes, actually, I didn't go much into the financials this time,
Mhm. No
maybe.
problem, no problem. So these are feedback for the second round of the presentation,
Yes, sure.
right? But overall, it's a very good because you gave the entire picture. The story part was very interesting for me, and it was well presented. Shantanu, Rishikesh, any feedback from you? So we are trying to improve the quality of the presentation. So anything that you give will be like a template for us going forward.
Yes.
No
Rishikesh,
feedback as
yeah,
such, but
No, it was very good presentation.
okay,
Thanks.
thanks. Shantanu, you were saying something?
no, I was saying no feedback as such, but then yeah, I'll use this also in my presentation to make it better for sure.
Yeah. So we are also trying to make this story more prominent because I think we get lost in the financials, and financials are easy to